A second person's come forward with a complaint about the BBC presenter accused of paying a teenager for explicit images. The person says they felt threatened by the unnamed presenter and was sent abusive, expletive-filled messages. And according to The Sun this morning, the presenter has been accused of breaking COVID lockdown laws to meet a young stranger from a dating site.
A BBC camera trained on its own door. The media circus in its courtyard. Another day, another twist in the story. The BBC reporting that another young person was contacted by the same still unnamed BBC presenter in an online dating app, and when they realised who it was, were later threatened with expletive messages not to go public. It was ahead of this revelation the BBC Director General was interviewed on the BBC World at 1 about the perceived lack of pace of its internal investigation.
Has he denied it?
I'm not going to get into the specific conversations with the presenter.
Have you spoken to him?
Personally, no. He's been spoken to by a senior manager.
Has he offered to resign?
Again, that is a matter that I think we have to respect the privacy of an employee.
Except we're in a very strange situation, aren't we, in that he's not been named, but everyone in this building knows who it is.
Today, a timeline was revealed about the complaint against the presenter. On May the 18th, a family member came to a BBC building to make the complaint. A day later, they contacted BBC Audience Services, who escalated it. It was assessed as not criminal but needing further investigation. So that day, the BBC emailed the complainant for further information. They get no response. And 3 weeks later, they make a call, but it doesn't connect. A month passes before The Sun contacts the BBC, the first time the Director General or Executive Directors are aware of the case. That day, a senior manager speaks to the presenter for the first time about the allegations, and they agree to take him off air. The next day, the BBC contact the police, and on Monday, the police request that the BBC pause their investigation so officers can assess the case.
Responding to my question, the Director General said that the allegations received on May the 19th were very serious, but were not considered by the BBC's corporate investigation team to be criminal. What he didn't say was why. How did they differ from what was printed in the Sun newspaper?
In the Sun newspaper, the complainants say they made it clear to the BBC that the teenager was underage when the presenter is first alleged to have paid them for explicit photographs. Although a police force outside of London has now revealed it investigated this claim in April and found no evidence of criminality.
My feeling is at some point the dam will burst. You can't go on having this extraordinary kind of phony war going on between the BBC management, their own news staff, and all the journalists of Fleet Street crying out for more information.
New lines, chatter and debate fill the airways on its own channels, all but the missing name that everyone in this building knows and no one is allowed to say. But for how long? Jason Farrell, Sky News.